I'm with Quentin Rew, the New Zealand record holder for the 20k race walk and 3000 race walk. Quentin, this is your third World Championships. You were in Daegu in 2011 and Moscow in 2013. What's going to be different about this World Championship for you?
I guess 2 years older, 2 years faster, 2 years stronger, so I'm definitely in better shape now than I've ever been, so that's the main thing, I guess, to be able to perform a little better than I have in the past is an important thing. There've been three very different experiences. The first one was just everything was new. I'd never done any major international race, and then I was straight into the World Champs. Hadn't done a major junior race or a Commonwealth, Oceania Champs, anything. It was just straight in. So everything was new. It was all exciting. Moscow was a bit different again. It was I didn't have any of the team environment. I jetted in from Switzerland 2 days before the race, and it was straight in, straight out. This has been a bit more friendly. The pre-camp's been fantastic in Saga in Japan, and it's a really great team environment, and helped by the Japanese and the Chinese. I guess those are the biggest changes for me.
Good. Your preparation included some altitude simulation in Canberra and some warm weather acclimatisation in Japan. How have they gone for you?
Really well. We had a really good result in Canberra. We were tracking progress a few ways, and everything we were sort of improving on the upper level of what could be expected from in terms of VO2 max and things. So in terms of physiology, everything's going really well. They then topped that off with 10 days in the heat, and that's been great. Came out, went training late morning today in Beijing. It was a beautiful day, sun was shining, and it didn't feel that hot. So I guess that's a sign that we've done enough to, as much as we could in terms of preparation for the heat. And so both of those, the Canberra for the altitude, Japan for the heat, it's all gone really well.
Okay. You're usually racing over 50 Ks, but this time you've also qualified for the 20 and will be doing that first. How will you be approaching Sunday's 20 kilometre race?
So the 20k race, it's a little different if you've seen a 10k track race or a marathon. Quite often they're fairly pedestrian at the start, and it just comes down to a mad dash at the end with a gradually increasing pace, and that's not usually how how the 20k pans out. It's usually pretty honest from the word go. It's usually a pretty tough pace. The winners probably will negative split, but it's usually fairly honest pace. The key for me is just to not get too carried away. The saying that I like to think of is that you can lose a race in the first 10k, but you can't win it. So it's just, and you can lose it by either way. You can either go too fast or too slow, and it's just about, first of all, finding a rhythm, and then just ticking off the Ks. For the first half, it's just getting through it, and then the last half, it really turns into a race after that. So basically, that's the plan, to not do anything too stupid in the start, but just come home pretty strongly.
So do you think your New Zealand 20k record is under threat on Sunday?
Yeah, certainly. If we get good weather, then absolutely it is. We're forecast for thunderstorms, so that's probably going to help. If anything, it's going to cool it down. And I know that I'm in PB shape, so it's just a case. So if the weather's conducive, then absolutely it's under threat. Yep.
And starting and finishing in the bird's nest, you're looking forward to that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty, out of the world's iconic stadiums, it's right up there with right up there with the best. So it's going to be a pretty great experience. It's obviously had the Olympics there before, and I'm familiar with it from watching sort of those memorable moments there. So it's certainly a great place to be, and really looking forward to the experience there.
Good. Well, thanks for talking to us. We'll be back in touch with you after your 20k race before your 50.
Cheers.